We thank you for the successful year that we've seen as a party and the county level. And we thank you, God, for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. And we just hope and pray that your good will be done and that everything does come to light, whether good and bad, so we as an American people do know what truly has happened in our own country. In your holy and precious name we do pray. Amen.
We do not have a flag in here, but we still...
There's a flag right out there.
Oh, hey, all right. If everybody can see the flag down in DMV, at this time, Heather, would you do our pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's just those are some of the things that we have to do. We need to thank our Lord for everything we have, and we need to continue to be in prayer for our nation. You know, at this time, I want to talk a little bit about the politics of West Virginia and Nicholas County. COVID has just absolutely drove everybody crazy. We were talking to Mary Ann. It is just messed up. Everybody knows that this is our 10th year, and we've always had a huge dinner. We've had anywhere, last year I think 130. We started out with 35 at the ranch house. We were the party of Volkswagens, phone booths, but that's changed. So I'm very proud of West Virginia. West Virginia is now a red state. It's red from the governor to the Board of Works, to our House of Delegates, to our senator. And in a few years, that's going to be senators. Our county itself has absolutely been remarkable. We are now a red county. I don't know if anybody ever thought that would happen or not. I came on board in 2006, and I talked my Vice President, BJ, into coming on with me in 2010 as I became the chair. And I think for the last 10 years, we have seen some fantastic changes. The registration with pending and active went over. We became a red county. We, for the first time, have 3 county commissioners in 2021 that are Republican. Our first county commissioner was Yancey Short, and then it became, from there it went to be Lloyd, and there Garrett. And this year it was Craig Chapman. So in the next, well, let's just say 2 years, we will for sure have 3, and that's going to be Lloyd, Craig, and Garrett. And Garrett is the president of our county commission this year. So we're very pleased with that. We have all 5 of our House of Delegate members who represent the whole of Nicholas County as Republicans. A young man from Fayette County that ran 3 times, Austin Haynes. He won this time. So if you ever think about running for office, don't give up. Because if you are a good candidate, and we had good candidates, you're going to win the election. We have the first female, as far as I know, in District 41, and that is in Heather Culley. And I'll bring Heather up here in just a second. But we are very pleased there. Kayla Kessinger kind of broke the ice for the Nicholas County area in the 32nd District when she was elected. So we have some very good representation. All 5 of our Board of Works are now Republican, with Raleigh Moore being elected to the state treasurer's position. And everybody who won with a very, very good margin. It was nothing, it wasn't like, oh, maybe I only won by 1 or 50. You know, they won. Let's go back to the national election. We all know who won that presidency, and it was not Joe Biden. They are doing things right now, and I've seen some things come out, and if anybody keeps up with the Parler, which I went over and got rid of Twitter, and keep check with that. Some of they don't try to censor you. Facebook censors you. Twitter censors you. I don't want to be censored. I may not like what somebody's saying, but I want to hear what's going on. So that's what they've been doing there. So all in all, guys, 2021 is going to look pretty good too. I can't say anything, but I think there's going to be some changes probably the 1st of January. So I'm really excited about that. We have an executive committee here that is the best any in the state. When you ask them to do something, they work. I never hear anybody say, I can't do it. And that makes this county stand out within the state. And we have always been praised and got accolades for what we do here in Nicholas County. So saying that, it's time for our presentations of our 2020 awards. And you know, as I said, this is our 10th year. We don't have a dinner, but next year we will. And at this time, I'm going to ask our County Commission President, Garrett Culley, to come up. Garrett, if you would come up, and he will be presenting the Volunteer of the Year.
Thank you. Semi-ironic that I get to give this award. Pre-pandemic, we were still meeting at Shoney's. Things were pretty different as compared to today. But I had the wild idea after a vacancy became available to ask a young man to join us just for one time to try it out. And he came, and before I know it, he started volunteering more than ever I ever did. So I just about shouldn't bring him around. But he's done great. He's been a real asset. He's been at the headquarters many times volunteering. I don't think he's ever told Ben Jean no yet. Pretty impressive. Ben Jean will work us all, and we all know that it's for the good cause, and we need to do it. But all that being said, it truly is a pleasure and an honor to be able to award the Republican Volunteer of the Year to Mr. Jesse Burrell. So Jesse, if you'd come on up here. Reads in recognition of your special dedication and service to the citizens of Nicholas County, West Virginia, presented on this day, December 2020, by the Nicholas County Republican Executive Committee. So congratulations.
Thanks, man.
And it's well deserved.
Thanks.
So,
And I think you got one time too, didn't you?
a few years back. Yes, ma'am.
This boy started at 15. Now, I'm not
That's
kidding
right.
you. At 15, we had it going. So that's great. He and Jordan Hill, and I'm sure most of y'all know Jordan Hill. He was our delegate in the 41st district, and he started at 17. So Jesse, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of ironic. I feel like I'm the least hardest working person.
Well, sometimes you have to step up and you'll get a little accolade, and that means you got to work hard.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. And when we give awards, folks, there are so many people to give awards to. And the committee gets together and they make their decisions. So I really appreciate it. And again, that's something that the executive committee does. And we appreciate that. The Republican of the Year Award is going to be presented by Brenda Gilbert. BJ? And BJ's my vice president and my right arm.
Well, it's my honor to present the Nicholas County Republican of the Year Award to Carolyn Groves. Carolyn has worked for the Republican Party in West Virginia on and off for 50 years. When campaigning for Governor Archmore, she would take her young daughter Debbie to the Republican headquarters to stuff bags with candy and give them out to drivers on Main Street. And remember, that was significant because Nicholas County was a Democratic county at that time. I learned from her family, in talking with them, that Carolyn has carried on the legacy of Christian values and the special work ethic of her parents to her children. Her father was an entrepreneur who exemplified hard work and dedication to his family and the community. I learned that Carolyn is an inspiration to her children with these values also. One example is that little girl Debbie, who baked candy at the Nicholas County headquarters years ago, went on to be vice president and president of College Republicans of WVU. So in addition to running the Republican headquarters several years ago, Carolyn currently serves on our Nicholas County Republican Executive Committee, She has participated in numerous activities in our commitment to help turn Nicholas County and West Virginia red. She is an example of the hard work that went into our recent landslide Republican victory of Republican candidates on the local, state, and national level. So it's my pleasure to present the award for Nicholas County Republican of the Year to my friend and golfing buddy, Carolyn Groves. And she sent a message on my phone that she wanted me to read. She said, "So sorry I'm unable to be here. I am truly honored and humbled to be receiving the Republican of the Year award. It came as a huge surprise, and it did when I told her. It has been my pleasure to work this past year promoting the Republican platform and candidates. Thank you, Executive Committee. I would like to wish all of you and your families a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year." So congratulations to Carolyn.
Very good. And you will see that she gets that.
Yes. You want me to take it?
Please. Very good. As we've talked about, everybody's just a little bit concerned about the COVID. And Carolyn, at her age, was really afraid to get out and get in with the public, and we can understand that. At this time, I would like to ask Heather Culley, who is our 41st Executive Delegate District person, to come up and just give us a little bit of something of what's happening, and then we're going to go to our big event.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank you all for having me and having all the executive committee here, and of being able to honor our award winners is really special to all of us. My name is Heather Culley. Of course, I was elected in November to represent. I was appointed in June, but then won re-election in November to represent the 41st district. I'm very proud to say that I did win every precinct, and when I say you all won every precinct, because without the voters and of course the people representing Nicholas County values and voting for those that represent Nicholas County values, I would never be standing here. So I am very excited. We went to caucus actually early in December. We have the Republican caucus in Nicholas County has about 15 items that are going to come up as our main platform. We're going to work on those again in January and start working toward getting bills ready to go. So if anybody has some ideas or anything that they would like to add, please get in contact with me. My phone number is in the telephone book. It is all over the legislative website. You can find me on Facebook. Most people know my husband Lawrence, so get in touch with me any way that you can. I'd love to speak with you. I do suspect that there will be several constitutional amendments we will get to put forth before the voters to let voters have a say in how the Constitution of West Virginia should or should not be changed. So those are some things that are kind of going on. I'm sure that COVID will come up in a lot of the legislation. I've been a nurse in West Virginia for 18 years. I'm a family nurse practitioner now. So I do feel that my experience there will be very helpful in guiding hopefully some positive health policies and reasonable positive health policies. So I'm excited about that. We're going to try to make West Virginia more business friendly for everybody that is a business owner. We're going to work on some tax structure items, so I'm excited about those because I think we need to put some more money back in our taxpayers' pockets. So I'm ready and excited to get started. Actually, session will start in February because we, of course, go in one day in January because we're, of course, we're putting in a governor this year, and then we recess for 30 days and we'll get started in the middle of February. So please get in touch with me, and Merry Christmas, and thank you all again.
Thank you. Heather, if you'd stay here, please. I'd like to have the executive committee come up with me, please, if I could. We do have a full committee, but as you can see, people work, things happen, and they can't be here, so I do thank them for coming to do that. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Steve McHugh if he would come forward. And while Steve's coming up, he and I have known each other since 4-H in high school. I'm Davis. In 2010, BJ, where'd you go? Right here. We had her RV sitting out in the Walmart parking lot. And the wind was blowing signs left and right. That was when Pete Ziegler was running for House of Delegates. And we just, I mean, it was a mess. And so I said, I'm going to go talk to Steve. Well, that was the first year in 2010. He let us have the foyer at the old Goodies building. And all we had was the entry, but it worked out fine. Then in 2012, I think we were good tenants, because every time we get a place, you rent it, you know that. And so we did, 2012, we went down and the Japanese restaurant happens to be there. 2014, we went up to the other spot, which was the jewelry store, which is now the doctor's office. And in 2016, we were on the end cap, which was where the department store used to be. And then in 2018, we were over at the old Nicholas County Bank. And then this time in 2020, we were back, got moved, but buddy, we moved it. Lost some keys, didn't we, Joy? So I have no idea what happened to those keys. But we got moved, and for 10 years, this man has supported the executive committee. And it takes people like this. It takes people that have the ability to give money, to give space, to talk to others. And it's just our pleasure of the utmost to give a great entrepreneur, a businessman, the 2020 Soaring Eagle. And it actually is going to say Charles D. McHugh, 2010 to 2020, for your outstanding support to the Nicholas County GOP.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations,
my fine friend.
In 2010, if I'm not mistaken, up at the ranch house, you may got a plaque. If you got, even maybe a certificate. I can't remember what it was.
I got a certificate.
Yeah. We weren't as giving out as good as we are today. So, my friend, the county's friend, and the Republican Party's friend, Steve, thank you.
You're most welcome.
If you'd like to say something.
I grew up in a Democratic county, and you had to have guts, so to speak, to be a Republican because you were in the minority. My grandfather, Otmar McHugh, was typical of what few Republicans that were here at the time. And he would stand his ground with anybody that questioned it. I never believed in my lifetime that I would see the Republicans exceed the number of Democrats in Nicholas County, Greenberg County, and I don't know about the others, but I knew that.
Raleigh County did too.
See what?
Raleigh County.
But we're turning the odds that we were up against, and I think that's good. I think you have all been very hard workers, and I have appreciated what you're doing. And whenever it comes time to get you together and get somebody else elected that's worthy of it, and a Republican, I'll be there to help you find a place to go. I want to thank each and every one of you. And my grandfather, Otmar, would be proud that I'm standing here with the eagle. He just would. And I'm just proud to be here and hold it and tell you about him. He was a Republican all his life. And he moved and talked politics anytime someone went to his house. And if you were a Democrat, probably wouldn't come back. But that's the way it was back in those days. Thank you very much. Benji and I have known each other since we were in school.
Yep, long time.
And her mother taught me biology.
Here you go. Very good. Thank you. Everybody go ahead and have a seat. We will close. I'd like to thank the Conference Center for
Congratulations.
setting up this for us
I'm
today.
proud to be here.
Dina, I thank you for all the different cancelizations and rescheduling, and she had food planned about 5 different times, so I really, really thank you for that. I thank the TV station for being here. I think it's very important that the people of Nicholas County see what we have in the Republican Party here, and we invite, if you're not a Republican, or an independent or a Democrat, or just have not registered yet, we invite you to join the Republican Party and become involved. This past year, we had parades. That parade was just fantastic. And I mean, they were all over the state. That was our Nicholas County parade, and I'm just so pleased with that. We had our National Committee woman come be with us, and our National Committee man, when we did surpass and become a red county. We have great support from our state chairwoman, Melody Potter, and our National Committee woman, who is Beth Block, and our National Committee man, Larry Pike. And Larry is now also a House of Delegates member out of Kanawha County. So we have great people. We have a great party, and stand proud and stand tall. In saying that, I thank every one of you for being here, and I wish each of you a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.